Hey everybody, and welcome to this lesson in your A+ Core 2 1202 exam course, where I am telling you everything you need to know about your A+ 1202 exam objective by exam objective, and then I give you practice questions at the end of the video to make sure you know what you need to know. In today's video, we're going to be having a look at exam objective 2.11. We are literally at the end of exam objective 2, and you are well over the halfway mark, so congratulations to you for that. Let's get straight into it with some browser information that we need to know about. Particularly, we're looking at some risks that you can come across when downloading things through your browser. When you are downloading and installing on a browser, you can come across two different types of sources. We have trusted sources, which it's kind of intuitive, right? Legitimate and verified locations. You've got official developer websites, well-known application stores, or reputable software repositories. These are trusted. These are verified. These sources implement some level of security measures to scan for and remove malicious code, ensuring files are genuine and safe to use. So when you're in your browser and you are downloading anything, you want to try to verify as much as you can that it is from a trusted source. Okay. Alternatively, we have untrusted sources. This is any unverified or illegitimate location, such as an unofficial file sharing site, torrent sites, suspicious email links, or websites with poor security reputations. Okay. Make sure you're downloading anything in your browser, whether you're downloading the browser itself or downloading anything through your browser, that it is from a trusted source. Now, one method that you do need to know about as to how you can verify that the thing you are downloading is in fact trusted is through something called hashing. And before we get into it, what it essentially is it is a unique fixed key. It's a string of letters and numbers, and that is associated with the download file. So let's say you go to download a program, right? They are going to give a hash key along with that program. And what that does is it says, hey, here's the original download, and this hash represents what this original download looks like. If any single number, any single letter, any single character changes when you download this, that means this is actually not our verified download and you have downloaded something wrong, or something has been changed in that process. Some sort of malicious act has taken place. And because you can see that the hashes do not match the original download hash and the hash that you got after downloading the program or extension or whatever it is, you know this is not the actual original trusted download. Okay, so let's have a look at specifically how this works. So a user would download a file and then run a hashing utility on their own computer to generate a hash. The hash that they generate after downloading should then be compared, and it should match the hash that was provided by the developer originally. So let's break it down step by step and show you an example of what a hash looks like. So here we go. Number one, a software company would create a file, such as a new update for a game or something to that effect. They would use a special program to generate a unique code. That code would look something like this. Okay, they would publish this code on their website next to their download link. You would then download the update. After you download that update, you could run a tool on your computer that would generate the same kind of code for your downloaded file. You then compare the two codes. Does the code that you have after downloading match the code that they had on their website? If it's the same, then that's the verified file. If anything has changed, that means that the file has been tampered with in some way and may contain a virus. So this code here that is given alongside a download is called a hash, and that's one way you can verify that the download should be or should not be trusted. Hey guys, this video is sponsored by the A+ Core 1 and Core 2 Ultimate Learning Guide. This learning guide has helped many people pass their Core 1 and Core 2 exams, meaning that they can move on to their Network Plus and Security Plus sooner rather than later. In the learning guide, here's what you will get: detailed notes, revision notes, active recall questions, and multiple choice questions for every single exam objective. 3 full-length practice exams with performance-based questions, a document with performance-based questions, a video showing you exactly how to study using multiple choice questions so you will be be moving ahead of 99% of other people at a much faster rate because you are studying more effectively. A video giving you test-taking tips in case you get stuck on a question in the exam. A video showing you how to use free AI tools to 10 times your study sessions. And best of all, I want this to be accessible to everyone regardless of your economic position, so I've made it extremely affordable. So if this sounds good to you, you can head over to journeytocyber.com and grab your A+ Core 1 or Core 2 learning guide today. All right, another thing we need to know is just the idea of browser patching. Long story short, it means you need to keep your browser up to date. Make sure it has the most recent patches, make sure it is up to date, because that means it will have the most recent known vulnerabilities addressed. And if you are fully patched, you are less likely to have anything go wrong, any sort of malicious activity occur on your browser, because known vulnerabilities have been patched. We know what patching is by now. We just need to apply that to browsing as well. Okay. Now, browser extensions and plugins. What are they? It's really small software modules that add specific features or functions to your web browser. So it could be like you could install a plugin that does a specific feature. It might give you some additional information. You might install a plugin that has a little dancing character in the bottom of your screen. You might install a plugin that there's one that you can use for YouTube, for example, which you can click on a YouTube video and the plugin will give you information such as how popular that topic is or something to that effect, right? Specifically, small pieces of software that run inside your browser. Now, many of these extensions do require quite broad permissions, and they can potentially access your browsing history, personal data, or they can even inject malicious code if they are compromised or have malicious intent. So again, it comes down to making sure that you are downloading these from official browser stores such as the Chrome Web Store and Mozilla add-ons, etc., not from untrusted sources. Okay, that's pretty much what it comes down to here. Make sure you get your plugins from trusted sources. It's a no-brainer, right? We also need to know about password managers. What are these? These are things that store and can also create unique, strong passwords for all of your different things that you need to log in on. All right. So it is securely storing and managing all of your online credentials, which means you don't have to remember them. You can put in a very strong password, access all of your passwords, so you don't have to try to remember or write down on a sticky note and paste that on your computer. It will create a strong password and store these strong passwords for you. It generates unique complex passwords for your new accounts and can even often autofill those login details if you're on a legitimate website as well. Additionally, it can let you know, it can give you a warning to let you know if your passwords do appear in a public data breach, so you can actually do immediate action relating to that. Okay, valid certificates. What is a certificate? When you're in your browser and you're on a website, a valid certificate is essentially something that lets you know you are browsing securely. So when you have a look at a website and you see this lock sign, that means you're operating on HTTPS. And that essentially means that a digital ID that has been issued by a certificate authority has verified the website's identity, and it's indicated by a padlock icon. That's that padlock icon there. So there is a certificate that has been validated by something called a certificate authority. What do these do? These do two main things. They encrypt the data that's being exchanged between the browser and the site, and they authenticate and confirm that you are connected to a genuine website, not a fraudulent or phishing site. So if you see this padlock in HTTPS, you know that a valid certificate is in place. Okay. Often if you see, instead of that padlock, it might be a warning sign, and you may get a pop-up saying the certificate is invalid or something to that effect. That means that something has gone wrong there and that certificate is not trusted. Okay. So this means that valid certificates work to protect your data. They work to build user confidence because you know you can trust that website. And as I said, browsers will warn for invalid, expired, or missing certificates. And if you have any of these warnings, you want to make sure that you do not ignore them and you pay attention to them. All right. So just know that certificates are issued by something called a certificate authority, and you can tell that that is working well by a padlock and HTTPS. If there is anything other than a padlock, such as a warning symbol, or you get a pop-up saying the certificate is invalid, do not continue to browse that website. It could potentially be malicious. Alrighty. Now, some browser settings that you could potentially want to configure and you do need to know about for your exam is, first of all, a pop-up blocker within your browser. Many modern browsers have pop-up blockers. If you enable this, it will stop pop-ups from popping up, therefore eliminating potentially malicious or intrusive pop-ups from popping up and reducing the chance that you'll click on them, therefore inviting malicious things to occur on your device. And clearing your browsing data deletes your various stored information, such as your browsing history, download list, cookies, cached images, and your temporary files. Okay, so what this does is if you delete this, it is removing your digital footprint of your online activity and boosting performance, right? Because you're not having to hold on and store all of this, okay? So you specifically need to know about these two things for your exam. Just broadly what I've discussed there should be enough. You also need to know about things in your browser that can enhance your privacy. You can clear your cache. What does this do? It deletes your temporary files, your images, and your other data that your browser has saved from websites you have visited. While its main purpose is to speed up browsing because it's caching things you often access. If you're often accessing this site and this site and this site, it's saying, hey, let's just cache those more closely so we can access them more quickly and more frequently. But clearing it can help to troubleshoot and ensure that you view the most recent website version. So clearing your cache is a good kind of security move. Additionally, private browse mode can stop your browsing session from saving your browsing history, search history, saving any cookies or any other site data after you close all private windows. So it's kind of like all that data, it doesn't exist, it hasn't been saved. Once you close it, it's gone. All right, worth noting, it does not make you anonymous to your internet service provider. They can still see what you are searching. It just stops you from saving any cookies or anything like that. All right. Now, some enhanced security, again, in your browser that you can activate. You can activate sign-in browser data synchronization. So what is this? This essentially links your browser data, such as your bookmarks, your password history, etc., to your user account, which enables you to access this across multiple devices. If you log in, you can access all this information no matter what device you log into your browser account on. This is good and convenient, but it does of course create a single point of failure, meaning if anyone compromises that browser account, they can access all of that data as well. So that's a security thing, and you probably shouldn't have that active unless you really feel like that convenience is worth it to you. And again, ad blockers, of course, the purpose is in the name. They block advertisements, which provides the security benefit of reducing exposure to any sort of malicious advertising that could be trying to take place. You also need to know about a proxy server. We've talked about a proxy server so many times in the past. We've talked about how it sends your data on your behalf, therefore masking your IP address. All right. I'm not going to go into detail because we've talked about it in at least 2 or 3 other exam objectives already, and I've drawn diagrams on it. Okay. But just know that a proxy server you send your data, the proxy server takes your data and then sends it on your behalf. So the person receiving your data only sees the proxy server's IP address. So it can mask your IP address. It can allow you to appear as though you're in a different country, things to that effect. But you have to make sure that you are trusting the proxy provider, because if you don't, they're going to have access to your web activity. They can log it and they can potentially sell that data as well. So you want to make sure you do trust your proxy provider. Alrighty, you also need to know about securing your DNS. What is secure DNS? It essentially ensures that your DNS, the thing that translates your website names into IP addresses, remains private. So, secure DNS encrypts your queries to prevent eavesdropping and manipulation, which makes it harder for any third party or even your internet service provider or hackers on public Wi-Fi to monitor which websites you visit. It prevents manipulation, because if they can't see it, if they can't access it in the middle, they can't change anything and they cannot do a man-in-the-middle attack. So, of course, it does enhance privacy and trust because it secures the fundamental internet process. Securing your DNS builds a more private and trustworthy connection. So, look, long story short, if you want to make sure that your DNS information cannot be accessed, cannot be easily read, cannot be attacked through a man-in-the-middle attack, make sure you have secure DNS active. Long story short, that's functionally what you need to know there. Browser feature management. We need to know about some of the following, right? Your browser has many features which are crucial for maintaining strong security. The first one is enable/disable functions. You can go into the settings in your browser and toggle on or off many of the unnecessary functions. Anything that's unnecessary, you should probably turn off because that will reduce the attack surface. Minimize plugins. Don't just install a bunch of plugins for the fun of it. With every plugin comes the risk of an increased attack surface, something that an attacker could use to gain access or do something malicious. So make sure you really are downloading it from a trusted place and that you really do in fact need the plugin that you're downloading, which flows into that, right? Make sure that you only download plugins that you need. Any built-in features, right? You want to make sure that you understand what each does and disable the ones that you don't need, as we've kind of already said. So with that being said, guys, we've covered what we need to know for this exam objective. Let's go ahead and do some practice questions. The first one reads, a software developer releases a new program and posts a unique string of characters on their official website next to the download link. After a user downloads the file, they run a tool on their computer that generates a new unique string of characters for their downloaded file. What is the primary security practice being described and what is its purpose? Is it A, hashing to verify the integrity and authenticity of the downloaded file? B, encryption and decryption to scramble the file's contents so no one can read them? C, digital signature to confirm the file's source and copyright? Or D, digital certificate to create a secure connection for the download? Your answer coming in 3. Pause the video if you need to. 2. Here we go. 1. It is A, hashing, guys. We talked about how hashing is that code that shows that the file has not changed from the source to when it's been downloaded on your system and can show that it is in fact the original intact file. All right, the next question reads, a user attempts to log into an online banking portal, but they notice the following symptom. The web address, usually beginning with HTTPS, shows a not secure warning. The small padlock icon in the address bar is missing or appears as a broken padlock, and the browser displays a pop-up alert warning. Based on these symptoms, what is the most likely security issue? A virus on the user's computer. B, an incorrect password is being used. C, an invalid or expired SSL/TLS certificate. Or D, the website's server is offline. Pause the video if you need more time. Your answer's coming in 3, in 2, in 1. Boom. The answer is, of course, an invalid certificate. That padlock warning is showing that the certificate is intact. Remember, those are issued by a certificate authority. The padlock and HTTPS shows that the certificate is authenticated and is valid. If you get a pop-up warning, if the padlock is broken, that's a sign to stop and investigate. Okay. Now, guys, the next question reads, a security-conscious user wants to prevent their internet service provider from seeing which websites they visit and also wants to hide their IP address to browse with a degree of anonymity. What 2 browser-related technologies should the user configure? A, clearing browsing data and ad blockers. B, proxy and secure DNS. C, pop-up blocker and private browse mode. Or D, syncing browser data and clearing cache. Pause the video if you need more time. Your answer's coming in 3, in 2, in 1. It is going to be B, proxy and secure DNS. Is that right? Yes, proxy and secure DNS. So proxy server can hide your IP address, make you appear like you're in a different place, and secure DNS can also provide that level of security. Pause to read that if you want more information, but I'm going to try to keep this rolling because I want to tell you about something exciting, which is every single thing that you've seen in this video is from my A+ 1202 Ultimate Learning Guide, and this has everything you need to pass your A+ 1202 exam. It's helped this guy or girl pass their tests, and they were thanking me for that. All of these people have passed as a result of the learning guide. This person got almost full marks and have moved on to their Network Plus. So if you want that to be you, fast and efficient with everything you need, where I guide you through the process, check out my learning guide. You get everything broken down by exam objective. I'm talking about exam objective 1, 2, 3, and 4. And within each of these, it breaks it down not only into exam objective, but into each individual dot point for each exam objective. So if you just want to look at drive formatting in particular, you can click on that and it will take you straight there. For every exam objective, you get detailed notes, active recall questions, and multiple choice questions. And after you've in an organized fashion gone through all that, you get 3 full-length practice exams with performance-based questions and multiple choice questions. You also get 3 videos actually walking you through the process of how to study. So I don't just dump the stuff on you. I walk you through how to study, and I actually guide you through that process. So if that sounds good to you, head over to journeytocyber.com, grab yours today. Otherwise, guys, congratulations on finishing exam objective 2. I will see you at the start of exam objective 3. Bye, guys.